everything is back. Good morning, Dan. Welcome to everybody. We restarted the stream. Who knows if that clears everything up or not? We'll know. Let me know whether it cleared everything up. Wow, it's nothing like a bunch of hiccups in a Tuesday morning stream, right? So we'll see if that works or if it doesn't work. It may or may not work. Looks good. Hell yeah. All right. Some people say it's back. So that's cool. So let's see if it's, I will double check it here to see on my end as well. See if it doesn't bring us back here. Looks like that fixed it. Looks like that fixed it for most people. All right. I don't know if it fixed it for my other channels, but that might have fixed it. Might not have fixed it over on Fast Track's tube, by the way, because it doesn't look like it's working very well over on Fast Track's tube. So anyway, we got to push through today. Okay, we got to get through it regardless. Hopefully it's working on all your other channels. This is the side effect when you utilize something like a software that is in the cloud, right? And that's one of those things where we end up having to use a software in the cloud, and if the cloud doesn't get it right, then it screws everything up. So hopefully everything's working and the way it's supposed to be. If not, we'll muddle through it. But thanks for joining me today on Coffee Hour. And we will try to push through the morning blues that we have here on Tuesday. Okay, so anyway, I can promise you that it was not y'all's issue. It was obviously something between here and there, because I went and looked at Fast Track's tube and it was the same exact way. So I don't know if even Fast Track's tube is even working. Sounds like they probably have issues up there at EV Mux. The folks at EV Mux, you said you did an upgrade on your system, but it seems like y'all got more problems than before. So again, as always, welcome to Coffee Hour. We don't talk about just the National Electrical Code. We talk about just about anything electrically related. If you got a question, issue, or topic you want to talk about, please feel free to share it with us. We love to talk about all those type of things here on Coffee Hour. As always, do me a favor. Let me know your name, where you're from, if you're in our program, all those type of good stuff. Let us know, and we will definitely give you a shout out and do that here. So let's see here. So we have all of our folks that we had earlier. Dan, thanks for joining in. Adam says, hell yeah, it looks like it's back to being okay and clear. Sorry about that nasty one. Let's see here. Good morning. You're most welcome, Richard. I'm a Fast Track student. Absolutely. And thank you. California. We have a lot of students out in California. Don't be afraid, folks, to jump in on the hashtag win to get in on a spin so that you can join us and see if we can give away some goodies or something, or get you in the drawing. The last I checked, the drawing, we have obviously you can get minimalist wallets and register to win some cards. We have voltage drop cards and conductor link cards and coins and things like that. But we also have the software to do estimating and bidding, and that is amazing software. That's probably the best estimating software that I believe is out there. Best Bid Hybrid, the next generation version. So there's going to be a drawing for that. They've got an estimating course as well. It's on there, and so that is going to be in a drawing as well. So thanks to Steve Griffin over at Best Bid Hybrid Estimating, who's donated that to us to be able to have that drawing. And you can get a Fast Track's tube subscription, that type of thing. So all that type of goodness you can get as well. All right. Now, again, I don't know if Fast Track's tube is actually working because I did a redo, and I don't know if it freshed it or not. So I don't know. Is anybody from Fast Track's tube watching? Let me know. Let me know if it works. I don't know if it's working. John, good morning, John. Nothing showing on Fast Track's tube. Yeah, so I guess the reboot kind of messed it up or something like that. So not sure what's going on with that. So let's see here. We're going to kill the stream for that since it's not working. and we'll just kill it. So it's not going to be working at all now because I just killed the stream, that type of thing. So no viewing on Fast Tracks Tube today. Seems like because of the fuzziness, I had to kill it. So it is what it is. So wherever you're watching, that's where you need to stay. Red Dog says, good morning. What's good? Hope all is well. Checking in from Los Angeles. Okay, on the West Coast, Fast Track student here at work. Soak up all that knowledge. We love having you here. Thanks for joining us. All right, so thanks everybody again for joining us. Today we're going to go back over some exam prep questions again, different ones. We're in actual exam prep unit 7, the database 7. So those that are following along and want to go back over these questions and things like that, we're in the master's edition, and we're working on exam number 7 sample pack, that type of thing. So, and then of course we'll go to the NEC and look these things up. But if you have any questions while we're going over the NEC, please put them in the comments. Let me know. I'll share them on the screen, and we can go into a little more detail on anything if you have anything. All right, so let's go on and get into the lesson. So here's our lesson, first question of the day. Okay, let's see here. Let's see if we can't get into this one. Mike, I see you in there. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. All right, it says receptacle outlets along kitchen countertops shall be installed so that no point along the wall line is more than blank inches measured horizontally from a receptacle outlet in that space. Okay, so we're talking about the receptacle outlet, and we're talking about the spacing requirements on a countertop. Well, we all know in the past when we think about receptacle outlets, okay, we're not just talking about the device, that's the receptacle. We're talking about the outlet to which the device goes into. Okay, big debate amongst people on what the term outlet means. But that is the outlet box is what we put the receptacle, the device in. The outlet itself, as defined in the NEC, is a point where we're taking power from the system. So obviously the building wiring connects to the device that mounts in an outlet box, okay? We get all that? Because there's some people out there who want to argue that that's not what an outlet is, and that's incorrect. We have a good definition of what an outlet is, and it needs to be very broad, right? Okay, so we have this. So now the first thing that we look into here is, again, and we also remember Richard. This is a good example. I just want to show you. I'm going to pick on you, Richard. I'm only going to pick on you. I know you came back and corrected it, but I do this a lot with my exam prep to make people aware that a lot of times people answer questions in our exam prep when, the ones that we used to grade, not the ones anymore, but I mark it wrong when people would say, for example, in this one, they say 2 feet. Just be hypersensitive. I'm using this for an example. The question only gives you inches, and the question asks inches, right? Inches. So when answers come like 2 feet, things like that I typically would mark that wrong when I do grading, as James, Mr. Simplex there will tell you. I usually mark that wrong because I'm trying to hyper focus you. And when you're getting ready for an electrical exam, you want to be hyper focused, and you want to be able to look at a question and say, okay, if I look at a question, then as I'm looking at the question, I want to make sure that I pull all the information out of it. And so in that question, it's looking for inches. So we always want to answer in inches. So it's not like me and Richard planned that, but it's it's kind of those things where I like to get people really looking at the question. And this question was about inches, right? So we go back to the question. So we know that in looking at this, we know it's not going to be 40. Some people would say 48, right? And you got to remember that it didn't say the maximum distance between receptacles. Okay? If that was, then that would be 48. It wanted to know that on the countertop, kitchen countertop, shall be installed so that no point on the wall line is more than blank inches measured horizontally from the receptacle outlet in that space. Okay, so you're in that space. Like if I have a wall and I have 2 receptacles, no matter where I touch on that space, I need to be within so many inches of a receptacle outlet, okay? So that's different than if I ask you a question, and be very sensitive to this. What's the maximum distance between receptacle outlets on a countertop in a kitchen? Well, if it was the maximum distance, think about your answer there, Adam, okay? Think about your answer again. If I want the maximum distance, then it would be from this one to this one. There would be a maximum distance. But that's not what the question was. The question was, out of the code, any point on the wall from a receptacle. And we have the same type of question that also is for when we do the regular receptacles in a living room, for example. Every 6 feet from an opening, and then every 12 feet, so that no point along the wall is more than 6 feet from a receptacle. But the maximum distance between receptacles would be 12 inches, right? 12 feet, right? So on this one, since we're looking at countertops, now what did I tell you folks, the holy grail? The holy grail of receptacle outlet spacing is 210.52. That's where you start, 210.52. And then you'll go A is your general spacing, okay? And then you'll go B, and then you'll go C, and you'll go down, and you'll look at spacing and go, okay, I'm dealing with the kitchen countertop. So we're going to go over to the NEC. And we said the holy grail of spacing. We could use the index. I do have the index geared up, but we don't need to use the index for this one. We know that the receptacle and spacing requirements are typically 210.52 is where all of that spacing starts. And is in perfect harmony. Link is having a problem running today. So go figure. Wow. Tuesday. We're going to start calling this Trouble Tuesday because obviously it's a problem with Link. So I'm going to have to go back into Link. Something is wrong with it. Wow. It's one of those days, guys, where nothing wants to work. All right. So let's go down to 210. All right. 210. Let's go down to 52 because that is dwelling units receptacle. Okay, so y'all see that is dwelling unit receptacle outlets. And then you'll go down. The A is the general provision. That's where we get all the spacing, the 6 foot, 12 foot, and all that kind of stuff. Yada, yada, yada. And then you got the small appliance. Well, we're getting down to countertops. All right. All right. So we have the countertop, and here's the wall spacing portion of that. Okay, right here. It says receptacle outlets shall be installed so that no point along the wall line is more than 24 inches measured horizontally from a receptacle outlet in that space. So that was pulled exactly from the NEC to answer this question. So obviously the answer here is 24. Okay. So my tip on this one, and we'll see the code reference right there, 210.52C1. Okay, so my tip on this one is that anytime you see something about receptacle outlets and it talks about kitchen, talks about any place in the like dining rooms or living rooms or whatever the question, then yeah, Fast Tracks. I turned off Fast Tracks Tube, Paul, because it was because when I restarted it, it seemed like it didn't restart the engine to send it out. So I just killed Fast Tracks Tube today. As far as the video thing, okay. The regular site's working. It's just the video thing. I killed it because it wasn't. For some reason, when I had to restart, y'all were getting a fuzzy screen. So I don't know. It's the signal. So when I killed it and restarted it, it killed it. There's no way to restart that stream once it's gone. So no Fast Tracks Tube videos. No Fast Tracks Tube live stream today. Okay. It's just the hiccups of the internet, I guess. So anyway. So the tip is to remember when you see something from when it talks about kitchens, it talks about wall space, know to start your journey in 210.52. That's where you start the journey, okay? And then that's the best place to remember. That's the little tip for that. Receptacle outlets, location, spacing, think in your mind, 210.52. It's got to be my starting point, okay? All right, that's the that lesson for today. All right. Let's go on to the next one here. All right. Okay, so this one says photovoltaic systems with PV system DC circuits operating at blank VDC or greater between any two conductors shall be protected by a listed PV arc fault circuit interrupter or other system components listed to provide equivalent protection. What do you think there? So kind of want to think. So the first thing I'll tell you is my trigger. I'll give y'all a second. See if you can find this one in your, look it up and see what answers you give me, A, B, C, or D. Okay, A, B, C, or D. We'll look it up, let you try it here a little this morning, and then I'll be dissecting down. But here's my first hint of the day. Obviously, it's talking about PV. There is a specific article that deals with PV. Bold scanning will probably help you the best here, because you could go into the index and look under photovoltaic and whatnot, but this is a very detailed question. But you're looking for voltages, and you got triggers in here. You got protected by listed arc faults, so its question is about arc fault or some other system, so it's very detailed. So my recommendation would be to bold scan, but you know what article to go to, right? So let's see who can get it. And yes, don't forget to do the hashtag win in there. Bear with me for a second. Nobody? All right. Well, let's see if we can go. So remember the question. Okay. Be very focused on the question. Let's go to the NEC. And we know that photovoltaics, okay, are where? Photovoltaics are in 690. 690 is not big. Okay. 1,000's not the question. Whoever said 1,000 volts, that isn't one of the questions. It's not one of the answers in the question. Okay. So let's go here, and you can disagree all you want, Blue Dog. It's a disagreement zone. All right, so here's scope. All right, so what we're looking for is the general requirements. Okay, and let's see here. Let's scan here. We got alternating amount. It's not what we're looking for. Circuit requirements. There's the maximum voltage. Okay, so here is, let's see, what is this under? 7. Okay. So I don't see any of the voltages that we had in the question there. DC to DC, I don't see that being it. Sizing, it's not a sizing of the circuit question. Let's bold scan real quick. Overcurrent, it wasn't about overcurrent protection. Let's go arc fault protection. Okay, so that was in the question. Okay, all right. So that was in the question, and then let's see here that it says, right here, photovoltaic systems. Again, I see one of the answers that was in the question. And then I remember that it said something about 2 conductors protected, listed, arc fault, or other system. So this is what drew my attention, the voltage, which was one of the answers in our question. Okay. All right. So 80. And then I just give it a quick scan down to see if there's anything else. And this is rapid shutdown. It has nothing. So this is dealing with AFCI. If we go back and look at the question was, 80 was one of the answers. And all of this language matches, okay? And it's arc fault. So we were there. So the logical answer here is going to be 80. And there's our code reference, 690.11, that type of scenario, okay? Very good. Let's go to another one. Okay. Now, this is a question. Now, we get this a lot on exams, too. Let me look at this one. So look at this question. If you look at this question, a lot of times when people answer this, they want you to answer it in the right order. But sometimes people just give answers. We do this on our Fast Tracks program as well, when we'll ask certain questions, and you might give the answer out of order, and we mark it wrong. Not because you didn't find it right, you weren't in the right area to be, that type of thing. The problem with what happened is that you just threw the answers out, and we'll mark it wrong because we want them to be in the proper order, right? So you see this one here says, where a feeder supplies continuous loads or any combination of continuous or non-continuous loads, the rating of the overcurrent device, okay, so we're talking about the overcurrent device here, shall not be less than blank percent of the non-continuous loads plus blank percent of the continuous loads. Now, if any of you have watched, don't guess. No need to guess on this one, okay? So this is all in the code. So y'all are familiar. If you've not watched my video over on the Fast Tracks tube, we always talk about continuous loads at 125%, non-continuous loads at 100%, because the load is what it is, okay? So when we think about those, we're thinking, okay, so non-continuous loads, okay, we're thinking, all right, non-continuous, then it's 100%. The load is what it is. The continuous loads, we take at that additional fudge factor of the extra 25%. So it's 125%. Now this goes for branch circuits under 210.19. This also goes for feeders under 215.2. All of this is what goes, and something you need to get in your head. Continuous loads that are loads that run at their maximum output, or unless the code tells you to treat something as a continuous load, runs at its maximum output for 3 hours or more, then it is considered a continuous load, okay? If it runs at its maximum output for less than 3 hours, then again, you don't take it as a continuous load. It's just the load. It is what it is, that type of scenario. Encourage folks to go watch my derating demystified video that's over on Fast Track's Tube. It is probably, of the videos that I've done, probably one of the most popular videos out there that we have, because it teaches you everything about adjustment and corrections, how to use 310.15 B11, how to use 310.15 C1, how to do adjustment and corrections, how to apply the 83% rule in 310.12. Oh, by the way, we're using 2023 NEC. We always use the latest edition. I don't have the time to go back into 2020s and 2017s. You can cross-reference in your code book when you join me. But at the end of the day, it's one of those things that just be familiar that this applies to branch circuits, this applies to feeders, and this also applies to service applications, okay? Remember, 100% of the non-continuous load is just the load, and 125% of a continuous load, that being one that is at maximum output for 3 hours or more. That's a defined term in the NEC, okay? Or like with a water heater in 422.13, where it tells you to take something as a continuous load. It doesn't care whether it's going to be at its maximum output or 3 hours or more. It just tells you that treat it as a continuous load. So you'll get that in the code as well. But to show you where that is in the NEC, let's go to the NEC. Okay, and so just show you where it is for branch circuits, just so you know. In branch circuits, okay, it's going to be right here. For the overcurrent device, it's going to be right here. See where it says not less than a non-continuous load. That means 100% plus 125% of the continuous load. So here it is in 210.20. That's for branch circuits. Okay. All right. And actually, it's .2 would be the one in for feeders. 215.2 is where you're doing the conductor size, but it would be 215.3, I believe, for the overcurrent when it comes to feeders. So I kind of said .2, but that would get you in the right location. So for feeders, right, if you were doing the circuits and you're doing continuous loads and non-continuous loads, that's where you get the 125% for continuous and 100% for non-continuous. But when you're looking at the overcurrent device, it's actually be 215.3 right here, and it says the same thing. The rating of the overcurrent device shall not be less than the non-continuous load. That means just whatever the load is, 100%, and then 125% of the continuous load. Okay, all right. So that's your general information. So it's important how we answer this one. Okay, it wouldn't be this one, 125 and 100. Okay, it would be 100 and then 125, because that's this one and this one. So it's all about the sequence. How many of you have been a Fast Track student and have been nailed from me when I was doing the grading? When you did it out of sequence. I know James will say, me, I have. Okay, so there's our reference, 215.3. There you go. So yeah, so remember, overcurrent devices, 210.20 for branch circuits for the overcurrent device. For feeders, it'd be 215.3 for the overcurrent device, but it mirrors the 215.2 for conductors, and it also, for branch circuits, it mirrors 210.19. Okay, so all of that kind of does the same thing. So just remember, continuous loads, okay, 125%, non-continuous loads, 100% in the load count. Very good. All right, let's go on to another one. Got any questions? Feel free to put them in the comments. I'm more than happy to answer anything on this topic. I love answering adjustment and correction questions for people, because it seems to be one of the hardest aspects of the NEC is for people to grasp a lot of these concepts. So more than happy to try to answer them for you. All right, next question. A vertical clearance for communication cables over rooftops shall be at least what? And it looks like it's in feet. Okay, looks like it's in feet. So you have your answers to use as references when you go look it up. But we're looking for vertical clearances, and it's for communication over rooftops. Okay, so you might think, oh, where'd I go? Now, the first trigger for me, is this right here. It's a communication cable. And communication cable in the 2023 has its own general requirements, right? And Mook just throws an answer out there. Give me a code reference, Mook. And so we can go look. I'll give you all a second to look this one up and let me know what you think. Let's go. And if you don't have your code book handy, that's okay. We'll go look it up. Paul says 8. So now we got two different values here. We got Paul has 8, Mook's got 10. Okay, either both of them guessed because they get no code reference. Ah, Paul comes back with the code reference. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So one way to do this is you could go to the index, and we'll do the index today, this one, just for craps and giggles. Okay. Let's see. Hold on. Let me do this here. So let's go there for craps and giggles. All right. Here's the index. And we could go to communication cables and see if that would be the answer. Okay. We don't do this all the time because it takes up a lot of time because one, can't see it, and two, y'all have got the code book, so y'all can do this. So, but I'm going to look up here, and let's go back here. You'll see me squinting because I do have a hard time seeing it on all these computers. Got to go back. Communication systems. Okay, so the first thing we see is, let's see here, communication systems right here. And it says go to article 800. Okay, so that's basically communication cable, communication system. So let's look down here, and then we see here if we got any overhead wires. Okay, right here. It said overhead wires and cables, 800.44. I don't know if y'all can see that right here. Okay, so we got there pretty quickly for that. So we're going to go to 800.44. Let's go back here. And we're going back here, so we're going to go to 800. That was pretty quick for us under communications. Now, see, you notice in the 2023 that it has general requirements for communication systems. In 2020 or whatnot, you might have to go into 820, 810, those type of things, but you're going to go to the same concept of the index and use the index the exact same way. But in here, we know it's a general requirement, so we're going to go to here, wiring cable outside and inner building. So overhead aerial wires, we got this one right here. Okay, so we got this here, and we're gonna look down here and we'll see clearance. Okay, we got above roofs. Our question was above rooftops. Okay, all right. Communication wires and cable tendons and vertical clearance are not less than 8 feet, and at all points above or below the roof. So 8 feet. So the answer looks like it's just 8 feet from all points of the roof that it passes. Okay, so let's go back to the chat and see what our answers were here at the end. So we've got Paul gave us 8. Mook just threw out 10. Didn't support it. Adam comes back with the reference. Adam's got the 8 foot. Mook was thinking service cables. Read the questions. Communication cables. Communication. All right, so let's see. All right. Okay. So that was our trigger. That got us into the index. But again, you could have triggered you to go to 800 and start bold scanning, that type of thing. You could look in the index. Oh, let me do that real quick. I remind people. People hate when I do this, but I'll remind people. Always remember that when you're doing your exam prep and you have time, you're not taking it, unless you're like a couple days out or 2 weeks out, then you should be timing yourself, right? Using your phone, set a timer up, get these questions, get a good database. If you don't have a database of questions, we sell just the database if you're interested. Get yourself your phone, do a 2-minute timer on your phone. That way you're dissecting it, but that's the last 2 weeks. If you're just studying right now, or you're trying to get better at the NEC, and you're just trying to get better, and you're not really prepping for exam, you just want to get better, and you should always be trying to strive to get better, then you want to dissect a code question. Take a question like ours we just had and rip it apart. If it takes you 10 minutes to do it, that is fine because you're in the study mode. So I'm going to look under vertical clearances. I'm going to look under communication. I'm going to look under communication cables. I'm going to look under rooftops. I'm going to look under every key thing in that question, right? Because I want to get my money's worth and I want to see what the index can bring me. And it's going to help you. And we call that ballistic training. And people say, well, I don't got the time to do all that. Well, then you're not really studying. You're just flipping the book. You're just flipping pages. There's a reason. There is a logical reason to the madness of why you do this, why we say take your time, why we say dissect it. It's also a reason in our exam prep why we tell you to look at your code, look at the chevrons, go to the code book, read the code. You might think it's just taking up time, but it's not. It's training your brain to be better at maneuvering through the NEC. And it's a method that we've used for many years, and it brings back really great results. If you're interested in our Fast Tracks program, go watch the demo on our website. It's designed to move you in and out of the code book into the lesson, and it works. I get enough emails and support from students all over the country. I know it works. I don't have to say I think it'll work for you. I know it'll work for you, but you got to put the time in, and you got to do it right, okay? All right, let's look at a question here. All right. So that clear. So we know the answer. It's 8. And there's our reference, 800.44b. Kicking it. Y'all are doing good. Oh, real quick, let's do some giveaways. Go to the contest. Let's if you haven't put hashtag in, do it right now. Hashtag win. Hashtag win. What's up, Cray? What's up, Cray? Put that hashtag win in there. And let's see what you can get registered for. Or maybe you can instant win something. Okay, we're going to add something on Monday as well. Yep, we're going to add subscriptions to Trade Hog in there as well. John, just to let you know, your wallet's in the mail, just so you know. All right, let's do this. By the way, if you're over on TikTok watching behind the scenes, watching me chaotically push buttons, then come on over and join us on the live stream. Can't go to Fast Tube seems to be down for some reason because I killed it. That's why it's down. All right, John Bostic. What's up, John? Glad to have you here, John. All right, is it? Yeah, it's Bostic, right? Okay. Now, here you go. Let's see here. Let's just spin this sucker for John and let's see. Yes, you did, John. You did get the email. There you go. Looks nice. I think I shared a picture of it with you. Positive thoughts. Moser Electric, baby. Positive thoughts. Nail this sucker. Make the dreams come true. I'm all about dreams coming true, guys. Being successful. All right. John, you got a year subscription to Fast Tracks Tube. That's our exclusive video platform. So all you got to do, John, is go to fasttrackstube.com. That's fasttrackstube.com. Go up there where it said members, click on the members, and do a free membership, sign up, and we will elevate you, okay? Free 12-month subscription. You won that. Congratulations. All right. Let's spin it again. See who else can get in on some free goodies. Yes, I do, Angel. I do have some tips for you here at the last minute. Hold on a second. Let's give away something. And Angel's taking his exam today, so I'm going to give him some tips. At this point, you're going to harsh reality. Let me get this register real quick, so hold tight. I'm running out of space, guys. Registering so many people. Dude, I love it. All right, so Alberto V. Hey, Alberto, I think you already have a Fast Tracks Tube subscription. So we're going to spin again for you. I think you already have that. I think I've already given you that. And my memory might be going, but I think you've already won that. And I'm all about soft hands. Yeah, Blue, I got soft hands. I'm a pussy. I'm I don't do work anymore, Blue. You're right. I'm weak. I just teach it. I can't do it. I get you, Blue. I get you. Always the one out there. All right, let's see. Bidding, estimating course. Okay, Alberto, you are in the bidding course. So you're in the drawing for the bidding course. Okay. Yep. All right. So good deal. So that is a great value. It's over $500 value. Teaches you what you probably need to know for estimating, bidding, understanding how to use to man hours and manipulate man hours and all that other kind of stuff. So absolutely a great value. I want to take that as well, even though I've had a course similar. But Steve and them over at Best Bid Hybrid do an amazing job with that. So I think that is an amazing giveaway. Okay. All right. Let's get over to the lesson real quick. And so I can get my soft hands back on this computer. All right. So the next question we have is household electric ranges. It says household electric ranges, cooktops, and wall-mounted ovens rated more than blank kW shall be allowed to be sized according to table 220.55 for service demand, for service calculations. Is it 1? And remember, we're looking for kW. So is it 1? Is it 1.75? Is it 2? Or is it 2.5 kW? Okay. Now, I can be honest with you. In this answer immediately for this question, it kind of gave you where you need to go, right? So let's see who can come back with the answer. Let's go. Even you soft hands, go ahead. With people like me who've never done it before in the field, right? Never been an electrician, right? Been doing it for 40 years and all I can do is teach. Don't have the cuts and scars. Yep. It's always that one, right? All right, anybody? Let's go. Paul says 1. No. You sure? Go look. Go look. Okay. So hold on here. Let's make sure I don't lose my TikTok thought. People in the background here. Oh, bear with me, folks. I'm losing TikTok. I don't care if I lose TikTok, but people out there watching behind the scenes might care. All right. So if you think of this one here, this is talking about applying. Okay. This. Okay. All right. See here and hold on for a second. Okay. All right. So I had a call come in. All right. So in this scenario, it already tells you to go to table 220.55, right? So you would go look at table 220.55, or you can look at 220 in general. The table is referenced in 220.55, but we're talking about electric range, cooking, counter-mounted, all these type of things. And we know that if you've done range calculations and you're using 220.55, that we have a table that we can utilize to apply some additional demands, but there's a starting point for the use of this table, okay? So in that starting point, we have a value in kW that we have to use. So let's go to the NEC. All right. And let's see here. So we're going to 220. All right. And we know that we're going to go down to where we deal with ranges. That's 220.55. That is something that we don't even need to go to the index. You should commit this to memory. If you're doing a standard calculations like we did last week, we went over standards, all that kind of thing. When you're thinking of ranges, you need to remember 220 calculations. You can think of 220.55 for ranges, for cooktops, cooking appliances, and you need to think of 220.54 for dryers. All those things should be dangling around in your head, okay? Shouldn't be that, it's not brain surgery to get to that part. All right, so once we're here, the first thing that should stick out right there, 1 3/4, all right? And so again, also for those that aren't aware, okay, when you have a fraction like this and on a question, you're given answers like these here, right? You're given answers like these right here, okay? You're thinking, well, where is 1 3/4? All you have to do is divide the 3 into the 4, okay? And as you see down here in my picture, it gives you the points, it gives you the 0.75, right? So that's where you get the 1. You divide the 3 into the 4, and that gives you the 0.75. So that's where you know that you've got the 1 in 0.75. So that's how we get the 1.75. Okay, that type of thing. So that is the answer for this one here. And you simply went to this table and you say, okay, well, Paul, you went to the code. I did. So you say, I went to the code and got it out of the code. But if you go down here to the table, you'll also see it right here. It's also in the table itself, okay, right? So either way, that would have gotten you the answer that you needed to have. And there you go, reference 220.55. Okay, so this one right there, that is definitely our answer. Did you get it, Mr. Soft Hands? All right, there you go. All right, next question. All right, a blank is a contact device installed at an outlet for the connection of an attachment plug. Okay, the blank is a contact device, supply, outlet, plug, or receptacle. What do y'all think? I will hit the timer. Come on, y'all get this. And this also looks very much what? Like a definition, right? Kind of just the way that it flows. It looks like a definition. A blank is a contact device. So if you're looking at this one, this looks like a definition. So what do you think it is? Let's go. Y'all get it? Do it again. Okay, I got answers. All right, so y'all know very much this is a definition. It looks like a definition. Y'all know what an outlet is. And people try to get into my invites over on TikTok. They will never learn that I don't invite anybody into my streams. Wow. Okay. All right. We got a lot. Everybody seems to be throwing up receptacle. Paul's got receptacle. Outdoor manship Mike has receptacle. Paul's got receptacle. Everybody's got receptacle. If we go over and we look at definitions, and we can do that. And actually, let's go to share this tab instead. Let's share right here. And we go to 100. And we go down here. And just so interesting that I'll do this here is that when we look at the questions, one of them was supply. That has nothing to do with it. Outlet, plug, slang, by the way, unless you're taking attachment plug. Let's see here. But we want to go down and get to receptacles. I'll get there. Much easier for you to do it in your code book than it is for me. I can promise you that. All right, receptacles. Where are we at? There we go. Receptacle right here. See what it says. Receptacle, contact device installed at an outlet for the connection of an attachment plug. Okay. There you go. All right, so that is your definition. Now, just so you know, there are people out on the internet who believe that an outlet is a contact device, but an outlet is a point in the system where you take power from. So they don't understand the definition. But if I say anything about them, they'll cry and moan and do something and say that I was harassing them. So I won't do that. Okay, because I don't want to hurt their feelings. All right, so. Obviously, receptacle, and there's your reference, Article 100. Y'all nailed that one. Let's go another one. Okay. Each patient critical care Category 1 bed area shall have blank receptacles. Okay, so again, this is a patient care area. Obviously, we know that is healthcare. Everybody knows there's an article in the NEC for healthcare. I could go to the index and look under patient care. Patient critical care, and we're going to do that one because this is a good one to use the index for that. So remember the question when we go look. So the question is each patient critical care Category 1 bed area shall have blank receptacles. Now, If you already know that there's a healthcare facility, is a specific article, you should know that article. Then you can go to that article and look for the receptacle requirements for that critical care location category 1. Or you can go to the index. And this is what I tell you guys. Take your time. We're in the study phase. Break this down. We're going to go look at the index because it makes total sense to do that for this one. Okay. So we're going to do this and we're going to go look at the index. And just for craps and giggles, we're going to look under patient critical care. We're going to look under patient, and you should be doing this. I'm going to show you an example of how you should do this. And then we can also look under healthcare facility as well. And then you should see something like that. Or we can even look under receptacles and see if it has something under it. Okay. All right. So, and we're already here at R. So just for craps and giggles, we're going to look under receptacles while we're here and see if there's anything under receptacles. All right, here's receptacles, right? And you got branch circuit, critical branch. Okay, so it says something about a critical care, but you'll notice that it's 517.34, okay? Hold on for a second, somebody's calling me. I gotta make sure I get rid of that, okay? All right, so that might be a place to start, right? But we do know that it's 517, right? So at least know that there is an actual article. Okay, 517 is healthcare facility. All right, so I'm just going to see if there's anything any more detailed than that, because that at least gets us somewhere. Okay, but that's really talking about, you know, the critical branch itself. We're talking about the patient care area, so we're looking more specific. So let's see here. So here's healthcare facilities, right? And notice that this is under receptacles, by the way. Okay, so when you see this, like healthcare facility, then real quickly, one of the things you want to do is use your scratch paper. And what you're going to do is you're going to write down each one of these. So I'm going to put 517 as the top header. I'll show you this on my paper in a second. And I'm going to write down each one of these. Dot 19, dot 31, dot 34. And notice they're all clustered together. So I'm just going to write under it dot 19, dot 31, dot 34, dot 42, and I'll show y'all how I'm doing that. But real quickly, that's what I do when I'm using the index. Okay, so I'm there, so I'm gonna look down and see if I see anything more specific, like the patient care stuff or anything like that. And let's see here, I'm looking down to see if I see anything even more that I might need if I'm working. Remember, this is how you study. Okay, this is how we break it down to learn what's in there and what's not in there. As you get better, you're going to know to go to 517. You're going to know where you go. But we're learning, and that's what we're here for. And if you don't like that, that's not your thing on how I show you how to use the index, then you need to move on to something else. I don't want you in my stream. Okay? If anything that I say here annoys you, you got other people. You got Mike Holt, Ryan Jackson. You got other educators. Go watch them, please. They're great people. They'll teach you a lot. But if you don't like my style, piss off. It is what it is. I'm not here to make people like me. Okay. All right. So the next thing here is, okay, let me go look real quick at P, and let me look at, see if there's anything under patient care as I'm learning. So I want to go up under P, and here's patient care vicinity. Okay. So let's go up here. Look at here. Patient care spaces. Okay. Category 1. That was in our question. Notice it's dot 19, still jives with what we had before. So that is one that matches. All right. So I got this dot 29. I'm going to just do a dot 29 since it's in that same cluster. Dot 34 we already have written down from before. And then I got a dot 40. I'm just going to hit a dot 40. That's in my cluster. So we have that patient care spaces. Okay, we're dissecting this question. So then what's the next thing we look under? Maybe under healthcare facilities. So let's look under healthcare. So see what you're learning? You're learning all the different locations in the index that might be beneficial. And over time, it helps you, trust me, especially when you get to that critical thinking moment in your brain when you're on an exam, you start to understand how it just kicks in and you learn how to flow through the index. So let's go to healthcare and see what would be under healthcare. All right. So let's see here. So I'm under, go back up here. So let's see if there's anything under, see if there's anything. Okay. And bear with me, guys. It is hard for me to see stuff anymore. My eyes are not what they used to be. So I'm sure I'll get comments about people saying, Paul, I wish you'd go blind. Trust me, I get those kind of emails from people. As much as I try to help people, I still have the haters out there for some reason. But you know what? Piss on them. We don't care about them. All right, so here's healthcare facility, 517, right? And that's probably where I would have gone probably up front. But anyway, so let's look down. Remember, let me show you how this works too. If you look at the screen, you have healthcare facility, and you see underneath it, communications, it's indented. And then you have stuff that's indented under that. So this is germane to this. This is germane to this. Okay. So I'm looking down here, and this is a charge. And I'm going to go down. Let's critical. That's not really what I'm looking for. Let's see here. I'm just going to kind of go down and see what we're learning in here. Isolated power is not really what I'm looking for. Let's go over here. Power, no. Wiring, no. Okay. Wiring and protection. Well, no, but it talks about the category 1 space, and you see that it's .19, so we already know in our list that's a place for us to be. Let's go down to receptacles. All right, here we go. 517.13, that's 16, and .19. So we already had .19. I'm going to add .13, and I'm going to add .16 to my research. Okay, now, again, keep in mind that we have done this. Keep in mind, okay, that we've been doing this and writing these down. So I just wrote these down on my scratch paper like I would do in an exam. And they all seem to be clustered around the same thing. So what I do, okay, is I will go to the lowest one. I'll go to the .13, and then I start my bold scan. Now, I will remember that .19 appeared a lot in all of my cross references. So that is an example of how we study and dissect a question. That's what you should be doing up until the last 2 weeks before you take an exam. When you get down to the last 2 weeks, all of that preparation, all of that work, all that dissection, believe it or not, will come back in your head, and you will find that you can maneuver around, okay? That type of thing. So it's one of those, it just trains yourself to be able to do that type of thing, okay? So that's the thing. So again, we have to try to, once again, remember the question when we're doing this. And that's part of the critical learning. I mean, you have to get used to that because that's what you're going to do in an exam. Now, in our case, I gave you the question, and we had to remember that it was talking about patient critical care, category 1, and wanted to know the number of receptacles. So that's what started our journey, okay? And so we have to train ourselves to remember back and forth, that type of thing. All right, so if we go back here to the code, and I will go to the code really quickly because we did all that dissection. All right, so I'm going to go here. And I'm going to go to the code, and we're getting a bunch of answers coming up. But remember, Val, that wasn't one of the questions. So we had to remember the question. The answer was 2, 6, 8, or 14. Those were our answers, okay? So there we go, right? So there we go. So let's go to the NEC really quickly, if I can get there. All right, we're going to NEC. All right, and so we knew that we're in 517. It's pretty clear that we're in 517. Now, if you've been studying in our course, you knew 517, and you probably went and you started bold scanning because you knew there was specific areas or specific part that deals with receptacles, right? All right, so you probably already did that in our program. But for those that are not in our Fast Tracks program, we went here, and we're going to go to the first one, which is .13, okay? So you'll notice at .13, it's talking about space and feet. It's not talking about any number of receptacles in here in this area. So you're immediately looking at it going, this has nothing to do. It's not relevant to me. So I immediately jumped to the next one, which was 16. 16 was dealing with isolated ground receptacles and was not the question, right? Then the next one we had was 19, I believe. So we jumped to 19. Category 1 space. And immediately when you start looking at this one, you're going, okay, it's talking about the minimum number. And here it says, boom, patient bed space. Again, we're in, by the way, just to show you, category 1 space. We're in 19, all right? And we're looking at the minimum number. And it says each patient bed location shall be provided with a minimum of 14 receptacles, okay? So that's the answer. And was that one of our questions, one of our answers? Absolutely it was, right here, right there. So we click it. What's our reference? 517.19b1. Okay, so the whole point of that exercise that I just went through is exactly how you should be breaking a question down. Don't listen to what other people say. Okay, I tell people this all the time. You want me to flex? I'll flex. All of the educators that you listen to are not serving on code panels, with the exception of Ryan Jackson. Okay, go to the front of your code book. You'll see my name twice. I would not teach you this method. You can go listen to the people that write books, other books, write documents, whatever. Do they serve on code panels? No. Okay, so I'm giving you my best way to tell you how to study leading up to an exam and how you can retain it. Okay, others can talk the talk, but their name ain't in front of the book. They haven't been involved in the development process. They just write books. Okay, so they're living in a land of interpretation. I live it and breathe it every day. I work for a major manufacturer. Okay, I deal in codes and standards 24/7. I work on courses. I help develop. I write blogs. I write books. I have been served on the exam development to write questions for exams. So when I'm telling you there's a method to study, I'm telling you this is the method to study. Okay? There's other ways you can flip if you want, but our programs systematically work you through the code. And we're not reinventing the wheel. Okay? We base our program on Charles Miller's book, Illustrated Guide. That's what we base our program on. And with our unique partnership with Cengage, we're able to bring it to life with our use of being able to use Cengage. And then what we do is we create the fast track system, which basically has the chevrons. You go to the code book. We have the ability to ask questions right inside of the course using Fast Tracks Interact. Then you also get, if you get the enhanced, you get Fast Tracks Tube. So again, there's so many other resources there. That is the system. We're not reinventing the wheel here. Okay, it's a system. Okay, all right. So there you go. There's that question. Let's spin the wheel and give a couple more things away here. We want to do that. So make sure you do #win, and we're going to give some stuff away. Let's go. But I showed you the way that you should be doing this with your scratch paper when you're taking an exam. Always write the key article and then Jay Electric. What's up, Jay Electric? Okay. You might have won before, Jay, or been on a list or something. So let's get you here. Let's see. Jay Electric. All right, Jay Electric. Let's see. Let's spin the wheel and see what you get. Let's see what you're included in the drawing. Tino, you're most welcome, sir. Glad I can help you in any way. It still amazes me, though. I don't mind the haters, but they still watch my stuff. They still read my books. They still read everything I've got. But yet they're still a hater. I don't get it. Stop reading my stuff. Stop joining in on my stuff. Delete my Facebook page. Stop following me on YouTube. If you're a hater, then why are you even reading my stuff? Why are you watching my stuff? What does that say? That means I'm in your head. And I love teasing them. So, all right. So let's see here. Where was I at? Esther, Jay. Okay, Jay, you are in the drawing for that improperly spelled estimating, which I still haven't fixed. You're in the drawing for that software. It is the best bidding software out there. Best Bid Hybrid. Steve Griffin is the creator of that thing. It's amazing software. So I'm going to put you're in the bidding for that software. You have a good chance too, because there's only like 4 or 5 people in the bidding for that. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Y'all, I'm doing my thing, Tino. I just love teasing them because I know I got their mind. They're watching. Just like on TikTok. TikTok's got this feature where you can watch without joining the room. So I always know they're out there watching. So I'm actually in their mind. Yeah, it's spell check. Whatever, David. I just hadn't fixed it. Big deal. Are you one of those haters, David? All right, so let's go. Let's spin it one more time. Give something else away here. We're getting at the end. Melting toast. Well, welcome, Melting Toast. Let me see here. I got to find room to add you here. All right, so let's do Melting Toast. All right, Melting Toast. Let's see what haters have soft hands. Yes, they do. Let's see here. So let's see here, melting toast. Let's see what you get. Unique name, melting toast. You get a 12-month subscription to Fast Tracks Tube. All you got to do is go to fasttrackstube.com. That's fasttrackstube.com. Up in the top, it'll say membership. Click on membership, sign up for a free membership, and let us know. Just send us an email, and we'll upgrade you. So there you go. All right. All right, guys. That has been it for today. Hopefully you got something out of the day's lesson. Join us tomorrow. We'll do it again. Bring anything that you want, anything you hear about, anything you want to share. And I will fix my spelling on my wheel. I made a note to myself. And so we, Melting says you already have it. So we're going to spin again. You already have that one. All right, let's get you in on something else. Let's do it again. Of course, you can also get an extra year if you want. But we'll spin it, get into something. Chances are you'll get picked again if you join us on the morning show, and you'll win it again. So, okay, best bid software. You're in on the best bid software drawing. Okay, so that is awesome. Getting you in on that drawing. That is the best estimating software flat out. Oh, excuse me. That's the course. I'm sorry. This is the course. I know you were thinking, dude, I want the best bid software. This is the course. This is the estimating and bidding course that you're in the drawing for that. This is what I'm going to take. Okay. That type of thing. Okay. So what's up, Ronbo? Thanks for joining us this morning. Thanks for dropping in. Okay, so we're always here. Drop in any morning, 8 a.m. Eastern time. We're always here, folks, Monday through Friday. All right, there you go. I got you listed for that course there, melting toast. Is it right? Melting toast. All right, everybody. I want to thank you for joining me today. Be safe out there. We'll catch you on Wednesday. We will go over some exam prep questions as well. And got any questions you want to ask? Make sure you curate them and bring them to the show. If you're in our Fast Tracks program and you have a question on one of the questions or whatever, feel free to bring it and put it on Word document, and then cut it and paste it in the chat, and we'll look it up, that type of thing. Oh, for those that are interested, let's just do this real quick. For those that are interested, TradeHog does have the Office Hog added right here now. So for your estimating or to ask a office-related HR question, that is included now in your TradeHog. And we did not do any hog question today. But again, go check it out. It's up for free checking it out over on tradehog.net. It is AI, and we hopefully are going to be adding in a trained Grok model soon. We hope that's the new AI from Elon Musk. We're going to be adding that in it. So again, we're going to be tailoring it so that it is more towards the construction type of stuff that we do, because that's important. We want to make sure that it only brings relevant results. So we have to filter it down, and we're going to train the model like we've been training everything else. So we're excited about that as well. So anyway, thanks for joining us, folks. Appreciate you. And hope to see you next time on another coffee hour. Take care. God bless.